every opportunity your staff gets, are they educating about the things that make your office different? All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. We are talking specialties. How do you grow it? There's a simple formula that you hear from every practitioner that has a specialty niche. It's very simple. It's just hard to implement. It takes a lot of time, effort, and dedicated energy. Let me give you the steps, what I do, how you can do it in your office. This is the Ultimate OD podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD podcast. Very, very fun episode today. We are talking about specialties. Yes, specialties. It's a blessing and a curse in optometry that we have an unlimited amount of options with a very limited amount of resources. I've been going through this in my office right now. I say there's things that matter and things that don't. Dry eye, ocular surface. Number one most important thing that we're going to do. Ocular health and wellness, disease. It just fits with our culture, supplements that we have, the machines that we have. That's what I want to do. And then optical. Okay? People come in and they want to buy from us. Let's capitalize on that. Glasses are a commodity, but we have an upper edge because people come in, they have insurance, they don't have insurance, but they see us as the glasses people. Own that. Dentists would love to have a commodity to sell. These private equity firms get into optometry not because of the ocular disease and dry eye, but because of stinking glasses, right? We have the corner market. Let's take advantage of that. Notice what I did not say in there. Myopia management. Do I believe in myopia management? Abso-freaking-lutely. I think it's good. I think it's standard of care. You have to do it. I do it. I have it mapped out in my office. We have a protocol. We know exactly what to do. Well, if you listen to any good myopia management podcast, talk to someone that's really good at doing myopia management, they will do an axial length check and refraction. So if the patient doesn't sign up for myopia management, they'll come in 3-6 months down the road, they'll check axial length, they'll do a refraction. Right? Simple and easy. And you keep touching base. And they're like, hey, if they're moving, either we're going to do this or you're not going to be seen at our office. Period. I love that mentality. So I'm like, yeah, I'll put axial length checks on there. And you know what? Because it's not one of my top 3 things, you know what I hate seeing on there? An axial length refraction. We even charge them $45 for the refraction fee. Again, they have skin in the game. They're coming to do that, but it's just wasted effort on my part. I don't love myopia management, but I will do it. Like I said, if a patient, I'll offer it to them. It's a thing, and we'll go about it. But I'm not going to sit there, get invested, sell it, encourage the patients. I'm not like that cult-like belief. You talk to people that go to Vision by Design, and they are like drinking the magic Kool-Aid. They believe in this so stinking much. And that's awesome. I love that passion. But that's number one to building your specialty. Know the arena that you're in. What solutions are available and what do you want to offer? All right? Every specialty has a different level of investment. Myopia management is actually quite low. Topographer, maybe a set of fit ortho K lenses, but honestly, you do that empirically now. And contacts, it's a very low investment. You should have an axial length biometer, in my opinion, to do myopia management, but you don't need it. Low investment. You want to do dry eye really well. IPL, RF, what diagnostics do you want? Do you have a non-invasive tear breakup? Do you have a myopographer? Can get a little pricey. Vision therapy, it's not necessarily the equipment, it's the investment in time to have vision therapists to do the work, right? You as a doctor don't have to do a whole bunch, but you have to have people that will do the work. You need the space, and you do need a little bit of equipment, right? The migraine clinics, when I talk to a lot of doctors that are doing the migraine clinics, Very low investment. Now, part of this developing your specialty to get it to go is knowing what you don't enjoy. When I see kids on the schedule, not my cup of tea, not my favorite exam, right? Let's get through this so I can get to the people that I really want to serve and see. I personally would like to just see like 15 and older. Honestly, 18 and older would be ideal. Like, just give me the adults. I named my office Family Vision Optical. It was Allendale Family Vision, then we switched to Family Vision Optical, not geo-specific, so if I grow and scale, we have that. However, I'd rather not see the families all the time. I want the adults, I want the older kids, but if you have a 5-year-old, 1-year-old, no. But I named it for a reason. I think it's a good way to grow and scale. Even in the new office, I'm going to have a room dedicated to kids. That'll be fun for them. Why? Because I do see an opportunity in the future for that, right? Part of being the CEO of your practice is you have to have foresight to know where you're going. But again, I know what arenas I don't want to be in. Vision therapy, not my jam. The migraine glasses, I think there's a lot of benefit and value, but how much bandwidth do we have? We talked about this in the past when we're talking about your staff, your patients, not my cup of tea. So figure out where you want to be and who you want to serve, okay? Once you know this, just a clinical pearl for you. When I was doing myopia management, I had this big, drawn out on 7 pages of analysis, data, studies, and I was trying to sell them on all these studies and this and that. And when I started actually getting people to buy, I would just talk to them straight from the cuff. This is what I believe. This is what I think you should do, period. When we start doing our dry eye therapies and talking to patients, I had a big spiel. Now I'm like, this is what I see in your eyes. This is my biggest concern. This is what's going to happen if we don't address this. This is what I think you need to do, period. Again, you can make it. These are your 3 options. This is the one I want you to do. If you don't want to do this, you can do this or this, right? Narrow it down. I talked to one of my friends that does vision therapy. When he's presenting the plans, he likes to present 3 options. It keeps it concise. It keeps it simple. It helps the patient feel like they're part of the journey, but it doesn't allow me or him to just get off on a tangent. Because if you talk about something you love and you're passionate about, you can go on for hours, right? Keep it simple and don't try to persuade them with data. They're buying you more than they're buying anything else. People sell what they believe in. People buy what you're selling if you believe in it. They recognize authenticity if you're ready to go. Now, the other thing about doing your specialty that resonates with you, when people come in for primary care, you're going to get a refraction on every single person, right? There's the occasional few that, hey, you have diabetes, we have to do this, or a refraction is not going to help, we have to do this. You have a red eye, I get it. But for the most part, they come in, every single person's going to do the refraction. They get it. Everyone's bought into that. When you start talking about these specialty things, realize you're not going to be batting 1,000. You're not going to hit 100% of the shots you take. When you're in sales, if you hit 2 out of 10, you're doing really stinking well. 3 out of 10, you have some magic power. If you do more than 3 out of 10, start a course, get seminars. Tony Robbins is coming. Everyone's going to be buying what you're selling because that's the best ratio you could ever have in your life if you're hoping for your specialty to hit on 40%, right? 20% is a great conversion rate, but you have to have confidence to keep putting it out there, right? Know the arena you're in, believe in what you're doing. Even if they keep telling you no, you will continue to tell and educate people because you are on this mission. You believe in it that much. You know it helps patients when they take that step. The moment you stop believing is the moment those sales plummet. All right? So believe in it, go after it. don't sell like you're selling to yourself. The patient has already bought you. If you get them in for the consult, if they're at your office, they believe in what you're selling as a doctor. Period. All right? Next step. Educate your staff, or in the case of most offices, they'll say your champion. Now, why would you not educate your whole staff? Why would you focus on a champion? The easy answer is your staff only has so much bandwidth, and also there's a ton of turnover, right? I don't care where you're at, how good you are, your staff is going to turn over. When you have one staff member, maybe two, that are really well versed in it, they're going to be easy. Now, again, your staff has to know a certain minimum level of understanding, right? If a patient's calling and they're asking about the natural light-based therapy, and your person on the reception desk says, no, we don't do that, and the patient want to do IPL and you sell IPL, you do IPL treatments, there's a problem there. Your system is broken, right? So they need to know what you're doing. If a patient's asking about those contact lenses you sleep in, no, we actually recommend you don't sleep in contacts ever. Orthokeratology, that's what they're talking about, but the staff can't recognize it, you have a problem. So make sure they have a general understanding, but your champions, if you will, in my protocol, I go over it, I tell them what I want them to do, and then my champions, if you will, my dry eye counselors will get them signed up, go over all the details, answer any additional questions. It keeps it efficient and flowing. Even though I address price in the exam room, the patient wants to talk about price with someone other than the doctor. All right? I'm not hiding about the price, but when it comes to negotiating how payment works, it's better if it's not you having that conversation, in my opinion. You may be a different relationship with your patients, go after it, but that's why that champion can handle all those conversations that you aren't having. You stick to the clinical side. It will, one, make you feel better about what you're doing because you're purely clinical. You're giving the advice that you believe in. And then two, your staff is used to having those conversations, right? It just is a better separation. So know the arena you're in, sell what you believe in, know that they're going to buy you more than anything else. Make sure your staff has a minimal level of understanding, and then have a few champions, one or two, that can sign them up and close the deal. Like, it should be closed, they just have to get them to sign, right? Next step, educate your patients. But that's what I do in the exam room. Yes, most people do not buy the first time they hear something. I think it's like 4 to 7 times they have to be exposed to an idea or an option before they actually follow through. I have patients that have come 1, 2, 3 times for dry eye blepharitis evaluations, and they convert on the 3rd or 4th time, right? Not that they didn't have the problem at the first visit, is they just weren't ready to make the change, right? So, do you have pamphlets? Do you market on social media? Do you make videos that are talking about what you're doing? Do you educate in your office with pictures of the IPL or a TV on running loop of the services that you offer? Educate, educate, educate. Right? Every opportunity your staff gets, are they educating about the things that make your office different? Right? It's as simple as even planting seeds with grandparents. If you have any grandkids or, you have kids around the neighborhood, this is something that we're actually doing. If they're nearsighted, we can slow it down. They're buying a 7. Your kids or your grandkids don't have to have your vision. They'll go and talk to their kids or grandkids, or they might talk to a teacher at a conference, but plant seeds. Get it out there. When a patient comes in at our office, they're getting a speed questionnaire. Why? It gets them thinking about their eyes and the environment that they're in. Plant seeds. Okay? There's a lot of things that you can do to get people thinking about the services that you offer. Are you doing screenings for headaches? Right? Hey, if you actually are having these symptoms, we have a solution for you. What? I didn't even know that existed, right? I thought I had to go to my primary care to get help with migraines. Educate, educate, educate. And it's just in what you do, the spiel that you give at the end of the exam. What are you talking about? The things that you talk about are the things that happen. Now, when we offer or when we diagnose problems, you have to know what are the solutions that you're going to offer. There's a lot of different ways to go about treating diseases, treating conditions, treating problems. Some are better than others, but again, remember I said, know what your initial investment is. If you initially don't want to put a ton of money into an IPL and RF, that's fine. But do you have Bruder masks? Do you have Derm masks? Do you have foam cleansers, Avenova spray? Do you have dry eye artificial tears in your office? Right? Do you do punctal plugs? Do you do amniotic membranes? What level of investment do you want? Give them the options. The paradox of choice. More options means they're going to be less satisfied with what they pick. So keep it simple, but know what you're going to offer. To start a specialty is start small. When I started the dry eye clinic, I was just going to do home therapies. You know what? They were buying the stuff. And they were coming back in for their follow-ups. Well, there's something here. How about if I offer you this? And next thing you know, I'm signing people out for IPL, tear cares, LLLT. It's happening because I put my toes in the water. I didn't jump into the deep end. Keep it simple. Offer solutions and see if they're biting on it. If they're not, either you're not really doing a great job of explaining the problem, you don't believe in what you're selling, or you just don't have the demographic market for that niche you're trying to build. And the last thing about this is know the journey the patient is on. All right? Know the possible barriers. Know that if they aren't going to do IPL, the reason's probably going to be cost. How do you make that simple for them? We actually can break it up. We have payment plans. We have X, Y, or Z. All right? What does the life cycle of this patient look like? If you bring in this specialty, are they going to do it one time and then they're done? Is that a great model? We've treated them, and now that I've cured everyone, it's just going to sit in the corner? Or is there a maintenance process to this? Are you preparing for that? This is what we initially do. This is how you maintain what we've done. Right? And then just find a way in the patient's journey that you can offer assistance, whether it's education, it's pharmaceutical options, it's therapies. Be the source they look to when they have a problem, right? You follow these steps, your specialty will grow. You talk to any of the other offices that are doing specialties, it's all the same thing. It's knowing what you want to do, educating yourself, educating your staff, your patients, offering solutions, dipping your toe in the water, seeing how far you can push the envelope, and then knowing the journey the patient's on and preparing for the pushback. This is what they're going to do, and this is how we're going to counter that. And this is what we're going to do. If they don't want to do this, this is the next best option. That's how you build it. And believe in what you're doing. It will happen. It will grow. You'll enjoy the work that you're doing. That's what I have for you. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and tonight I'm going to close with a quote from Steve Prefontaine. One of the best distance runners ever in the United States. Tragically died at an early age, but I just love the man. I love the biographies. I've read all about him. I've read numerous books, and honestly, I just keep getting more. And his quote was, "No matter how hard you train, somebody will train harder. No matter how hard you run, somebody will run harder. No matter how much you want it, somebody will want it more. I am somebody." Steve Prefontaine. Freaking love that mentality. How bad do you want it? Are you him? That's what I have for you. Dr. Lily out.